You asked for it, and today's the day. We're making a desert base. Perfect for your Age of Sigmar, Warhammer 40k or Dungeons and Dragons miniatures. I've got something in my hand and I'm super excited. Because one of my favorite illustrators is actually a guy who lives in my town. And he gave me this pack. I just have to show it. Zooming out. So, look at this incredible thing. This is an original artwork that he did, and he watched my channel and said, I have to have it. So I'm gonna put this in a frame, and just look at this, like psychedelic, yeah, old school Space Marines, Chaos Space Marines, and isn't this lovely? I just love this type of original artwork. Wow! So it didn't fit perfectly in the frame. I have a bit of a free space there, but I'm so hyped about this. It's good enough for now until I have time to fix something that's the perfect size. That's gonna be cool. So apparently this is a steel hard concrete wall and hammer and nail won't do it. So I'll just put the painting there for now and let's see. Whenever I have time I'll fix it. But today's subject, we're doing a desert base and it's quite a fast process. You can easily do a bunch of these in less than an hour. The only problem you have is the drying time. So when you do the first one you put it out to dry and then you start with the next one. Before we start painting, just a friendly reminder, if you want to support this channel, the only way you can do it right now is by clicking the Amazon affiliate links down below. If you're a regular on Amazon and you shop there all the time, just make one of these links your starting page for Amazon, and every time you shop, I will be getting a kickback from whatever you buy there. So that's a great way of supporting me and this channel and helping me grow. With that out of the way, let's start building. So I've got a regular Games Workshop base here, and I'm using some white pumice to kind of create some volume on the base. To make like a dusty sand I use Vallejo Pigments, same thing here, any brand works. Some grass tufts, I've got this from Woodland Scenics, but whatever fits with the color that you want to have on the base. And to seal the pigments we're using some matte varnish. But you could just as well use any medium you have at home, whether it's Lamian medium or glazing medium. If you don't have any medium or varnish at home, but you still want to try this, you can use just a regular Games Workshop wash because this is quite medium heavy. And it will seal the pigments quite well. And if you don't have any texture paint at home, don't worry, you can use a super fine sand as well. This is just some regular ocean sand that I baked in the oven to kill all the bacteria. This works perfectly fine for doing what we're about to do. So, when I put the first layer of white pumice on the base, I put some water on the stick and start sculpting the white pumice. And when I have a good basic shape, I do the same but with my pinky. This way I can create some really fine sand dune-like shapes. First step is done. I'm then putting it out in the sun because it's really hot outside today and it will dry a lot faster. So guys, I put the bases out to dry, and while it's doing that I'm going to show you a secret trick that I have. And if you're lucky like me, you live in a city where there's like 1,000 birches in every street corner. And you see just here, you have some of my favorite basing materials and you have it available for free. So let's go there and see if we can find some. You see these tiny birch seeds here on the ground? Their shape is like a perfect fallen leaf on a miniature base. So they come from these seed pods that you can see on the tree. And later in the summer, here in Sweden it's about August, you can find these already dried up ones on the tree, jam-packed with tiny seeds that look exactly like miniature leaves. It started blowing way too much. But as I said, like either you find these like green ones, you're lucky. You can find these already dried up ones. So and if you don't have birches in your town, I'm sorry. Either you find someone who sells it or use something else. So this is what you get from a single one of these pods. And look at this tiny one, it's like a perfect miniature leaf. So I just put some super glue on the base, grab my tweezer, pick up this mini leaf and place it where I put the glue. This first one was a little bit too big, a little bit out of scale, so I found a smaller one which looked perfect on the base. Super simple and super effective. The pumice has dried and it's time to paint it. I'm using Vallejo brown sand. Putting on some of the woodland scenics dead grass tufts. I'm just using a regular super glue to place this. It's time to finally place the pigments on there. The first thing I do is just to place some of this matte varnish on the base. I then take a regular brush, moisten it with some water and then just dab it around so I cover the whole base with this matte varnish. I place some of the dry pigments from Vallejo on the base. I then use a completely dry brush to allocate all of this across the base. I needed some more pigments to cover the whole base, so I just went back to the bottle with the same brush and just reallocated more of it onto the base until everything was covered. If you feel like being lazy, you could actually be done by now. But with a few minutes extra, you're gonna have a base that looks even better. So what we want to do is to shade the edges of the base. This way your eye will focus more on the center of the base and also the model that stands there. You can either do this by using some of the Seraphim sepia wash on the edges, but if you have like a red brown or an orange rust pigment as well, you can just dab tiny bits of this on the outer edges of the base. This is enough to just give that extra bit of attention to the model on the base. So now you just need to let it dry for maybe half an hour and the base is done. And if you have some pigment in excess left on top of the base, just tap it lightly on a piece of paper or in the garbage bin or something to remove all the excess that's in there. And this is the exact same technique that I used for my Untamed Beasts Hard Eater from Warcry. If you want to watch that video, you have the link in the upper right corner right now. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the subscribe button on this side. If you have any questions, just feel free to leave it in the comment section down below. And with that said, have a great day. Bye.